easy, because I think Peace Corps as an organization would have to be very careful about where volunteers go, what they do. It's not an easy thing. You just can't spread us around the world and expect miracles to happen. But I think what we do is important, the impact we have, but there are very few of us. Even when I left to come this time, there were people that said, Peace Corps, there's still a Peace Corps. There are, in this country, even here, you know, they don't really understand what Peace Corps volunteers are doing, you know, how we're different. So the Peace Corps message, I think, is an important one, and it would be helped greatly if there were more of us doing what we do. And I think I think that, yeah, I think the United States could have a not much greater, but a bigger impact around the world if there were more of us doing what we're doing.
And what does that mean for the United States? And I'm going to tie that many volunteers that I see always, if I say, so how was your experience? And they would say, well, I certainly gave a lot, but I've taken far more than I have given to Uganda. In your case, what is it that you have taken, and what does that mean for America?
Oh, I think I don't know if we all do it, but I've said that from the first time, and I'll say it after I go back this time. We get so much out of the experience in terms of our worldview, understanding another culture, the people we've met, the friendships we've made, and you might have a very slight idea of what you've accomplished in terms of, I mean, I had no idea that any of my former students did well. I almost considered myself to have been a failure for teaching chemistry that no one would ever use. So I think when we go back, recognizing that we get a lot out of the experience is important, and also communicating to Americans about what our experience is like. I don't think it's very hard to understand that if you haven't had it, but you can try. People, when I decided to come back the second time, people they were not too surprised, because they said, oh, you talked about how much you enjoyed it the first time. I didn't realize that I had spent that much time talking about it. The other thing I think, and it almost is shocking, is what how ignorant, I use the term ignorant advisedly, how ignorant Americans are about Africa. They think it's either the prairies and savannas with lions and elephants, or it's jungles with people living in huts, or civil wars, awful things happening. They don't really understand what Africa's all about. And I had to tell many Americans, especially when I was just before I came in, saying, you don't understand what Africa's like. You don't understand what Africa's about. And that's an important thing that Peace Corps volunteers do when we get back to the United States.
I would say so. I think that's the message, to bring the real world to what it is.
Yes, yes.
Is there anything else that you wish that I would have asked you and I did not ask?
No, I just thank you for this opportunity. I know I have a very special experience with the Peace Corps, coming in 2 times, but I'm not that special a person. I think if you bring some of our volunteers here back again in 20, 30, 40 years, you'll see a similar thing. I've used this expression before. During training this time, I was given the Ugandan Runyankore Ruchiga name Mujisha, which means blessed. And many times since then, I've reflected that somehow I've been blessed at the experience, having had the opportunity, the experience I've had to come back here, see my former students, experience this country again. I consider myself to be one of the luckiest, most blessed people, men on earth.
And we're blessed to be around that magic that embodies what Peace Corps is. So thank you. Thank you, Loucine.
Wevere Mononga.
Gale Sebo.
Could I just pipe up with a couple of filler questions?